So, Lee, this question is obviously before you accepted the job, there was a little bit of a stigma around it in terms of maybe managers might have been frightened to go for the job or thought that they would have been up against it just with the way the two previous managers left. How did Ron and Ben sell the club to you? I remember in your first interview, you said you had a meeting down in London that lasted meant to last 1 hour, but ended up lasting for three. So, what type of things did you speak about that in that meeting, and how did they sort of sell the job to you?
Yeah, I think first of all, I was cautious. If I'm honest with you, I was, because I think it's natural to be. Like I know a lot about Jack Ross and obviously his successes and
Hmm.
quality as a manager, and obviously they decided to make the change for whatever reason, and then Sean Maloney comes in as a young manager, highly regarded coach, and obviously moves on pretty quickly. So for somebody like me that's just been sacked from Sunderland, and where I was in terms of the sort of like a lot of times in football, like a manager's perception becomes the reality. Do you know what I mean? So the
Yeah,
perception of him becomes like your own
yeah,
reality. And like obviously in and around sort of second, third, fourth at Bristol City, I was getting interest from sort of Premier League teams in England, and then football, whatever changes, and that's why you can never be too comfortable. My dad was manager in Latvia, and they had a saying called "never relax," and that's a little bit like football management because it can turn very quickly, both positive and negative. So obviously disappointed to lose my job at Sunderland, 2 points off top of the league, and another massive club, a big historic fan base, I'm in a position, or was in a position before I got this job, where the next one was really important. It was really important for me and my career, but also really important for the football club that I can add value to the club and what they've already got. So, like I say, that original caution, if I'm honest, was sort of nullified really quickly. And that was due to like knowing a lot about Hibs first and foremost. So the size of the club, the size of the fan base, the history attached to Hibs is what I love. But I need to be able to work with a hierarchy really well, and I need support. You can't achieve success in this game without support from the hierarchy, and that was the key factor really. And I think it's nice timing for both of us, because I feel like the club need that stability, and I need that stability as well. So you've got to build that rapport, you've got to build the connection with the family, with the ownership, with the key stakeholders, if you like, and the ones you're going to be dealing with every day. And obviously that was Ben, Ian, Ron himself as a decision maker, and obviously the key staff that we've got, but also are going to bring in. And in the end, I did have options. Being honest, I did have options, but I couldn't stop that feeling of thinking about Hibs, watching Hibs. It's funny actually. I think I mentioned it before, but I was in the. I actually went to a couple of the games, like
yep.
incognito. So I didn't quite have a fake nose, moustache, and glasses on, but it wasn't far off. And in the Livingston game, I was thinking I was fine 5 minutes before the game, like all chilled, no one sat around me. All of a sudden, like 300 of the sort of Livy ultras come in and sit like directly around me. And I couldn't get out because I didn't want to be seen. And obviously, Livy won the game. And when they scored, I was being smoked out by the yellow and black flares. And it was like, I swear, if anybody sees me celebrate Livy's goal, little only because I didn't want to end up getting beat up by sort of a gang of youths. But um, it was interesting and actually a really nice vibe, and they were brilliant. And like I say, it seemed like a really good young crew in there. But it was interesting just to. I felt I had to see it. I felt like the
Hmm.
club and the team needed to do a little bit more. But it's all good and well watching video, but you need to see the dynamics live. And therefore, I believed I could add value and help, and the process continued.